Hi, my name is Sarah Brockway, and I work at DeCordova Sculpture Park and Museum, one of the properties of the Trustees of the Reservations. Welcome to Artful at Home. Here at Artful at Home, we read a story to provide inspiration for transforming ordinary objects around your home into something extraordinary. Today, our inspiration is a story called A House is a House for Me. A hill is a house for an ant. A hive is a house for a bee. A hole is a house for a mole or a mouse. And a house is a house for me. A web is a house for a spider. A bird builds its nest in a tree. There's nothing so snug as a bug in a rug. And a house is a house for me. A coop that's a house for a chicken. A sty that's a house for a sow. A fold that's where sheep all gather to sleep. A barn that's a house for a cow. It's also, of course, a house for a horse. A kennel's a house for a dog. A dog is a house for a flea. But when a flea strays, a flea sometimes stays, and then it may move to me. Houses for rabbits are hutches. A house for a mule is a shed. A castle's a house for a duchess. A bedbug's bed down in a bed. Mosquitoes like mudholes or puddles. Whales need an ocean or sea. A fish or a snake may do with a lake, but a house is a house for me. A shell is a dwelling for shellfish, for oysters and lobsters and clams. Each snail has a shell, each turtle as well, but not any lions or lambs. Lions live out in the open, monkeys live up in a tree, hippos live down in a river. Now what do you know about me? An igloo's a house for an Eskimo, a teepee's a house for a Cree, a pueblo's a house for a Hopi, a wigwam may hold a Mohi. A garage is a house for a car or a truck. A hangar is a house for a plane. A dock or a slip is a house for a ship, and a terminal's house for a train. A husk is a house for a corn of ear. A pod is a place for a pea. A nutshell is a hut for a hickory nut. But what is a shelter for me? A glove is a house for a hand. A stocking's a house for a knee. A shoe or a boot is a house for a foot. A house is a house for me. A box is a house for a tea bag. A teapot's a house for some tea. If you pour me a cup and I drink it all up, the tea house will turn into me. Cartons are houses for crackers. Castles are houses for kings. The more I think about houses, the more things are houses for things. And if you get started in thinking, I think you will find it is true that the more that you think about houses for things, the more things are houses to you. Barrels are houses for pickles, and bottles are houses for jam. A pot is a spot for potatoes, and a sandwich is home for some ham. The cookie jar's home to the cookies. The bread box is home to the bread. My coat is a house for my body, and my hat is a house for my head. Perhaps I have started far-fetching. Perhaps I'm stretching things some. A mirror is a house for reflections. A throat is a house for a hum. But once you get started in thinking, you think and you think and you think. How pockets are houses for pennies, and pens can be houses for ink. How peaches are houses for peach pits, and sometimes are houses for worms. How trash cans are houses for garbage, and garbage makes houses for germs. And envelopes, earmuffs, and eggshells, and bathrobes and baskets and bins, and rag bags and rubbers and roasters, and tablecloths, toasters, and tins. And once you get started in thinking this way, it seems that wherever you see is either a house or it lives in a house, and a house is a house for me. A book is a house for a story. A rose is a house for a smell. My head is a house for a secret I never will tell. A flower's at home in a garden. A donkey's at home in a stall. Each creature that's known has a house of its own. And the earth is a house for us all. That book had a lot of houses and a lot of things in it. Some that are familiar, some that are quite imaginable. What is around you right now that either is a house or lives in a house? Take a look around the room you're in. What can you build houses for? You can use branches, sticks, fabric, blocks, whatever you see around you. But I have a question. What is a house for a memory? What can you build for a house for a memory? We would love to see what you create. Hope to catch you again. Take care.